We're looking at number 21 here. So main things that you have to know to be successful is that is I to the first, I to the second, I to the third, and especially I to the fourth. Okay. Now, I to the first is just I. We know I squared is -1. We've used that a lot. I cubed is -I. And I to the fourth is the prettiest of all of them. 1. Okay. So we derived these in the video for 3.1. So if you need to go back and look at it, okay, you can see where these came from. Now these are cyclical. They're just going to keep repeating every 4. Okay. So the way that we go about these problems is because I to the fourth is the prettiest, we want to try to use I to the fourth. So that's why we're going to take 27 and divide it by 4. So 27 goes into that 6 times, which is 24. So there will be 3 leftovers. Now remember, this is going to be your exponent on I to the fourth. And then this is going to be your exponent. It'll make sense out of that in a second. So what I'm claiming is it's going to be I to the fourth with a 6 times I to the third. Okay. You know what? I might just use parentheses to make that a little bit cleaner looking. Okay. All right. So looking at this, here is your 24, right? So you really have an I to the 24th times another I to the third. And what do you know? That's your I to the 27th. Okay. So you're basically just breaking up the 27, but trying to use I to the fourth to do it. If you wanted to, if it makes more sense to you to do it like this, by all means do, right? You would need 6 of these. But when the numbers start getting big, I don't think that this is a productive way of doing it. Even this one, I'm not sure is productive, right? But here's your 24 of them, right? Okay. And then you would have to have 3 leftovers to make 27. And we just decide, hey, let's write this better. Let's write this as I to the fourth 6 times. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, why did we choose I to the fourth? Why did we choose to divide by 4? Well, like we said, it is the prettiest. It's a 1. And this is a big deal because if you replace I to the fourth with a 1, my claim is this part you can always cross off. It doesn't even matter. So basically the answer is going to be the remainder. Okay. Let's make sure everybody understands that. So I to the fourth is 1. Now 1 times itself 6 times, right? 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 6 times. It's still just 1. And 1 multiplying by I to the third. Gosh, sorry, you guys, I have such terrible writing, and these boards make it way worse. Okay, here we go. 1 times anything, it doesn't do anything, right? With the identity, so you're just going to get the same number back, okay? So don't go through all of this. I mean, once you've done a few of these, understand that once you have an I to the fourth to some exponent, boom, it's gone. Look at all that work just to get I to the third, right? All right, now you do have to clean up I to the third though, right? And we said up here it's -I, but if you can't remember that, which I probably wouldn't, just break it down as an I squared times another I. And then you can see it's -1 times I, which is why we got -I out. Okay. So just to recap, we're always dividing by 4. This 6 tells you how many 4s will fit inside of it. So that's why we write it as I to the fourth to the 6. Okay. And then this remainder will tell you how many leftover I's you have left. And you can always cross off the I to the fourth part because it's just a 1, and 1 to any power, it doesn't matter, is going to be 1 again. And multiplying by 1 does nothing. So you can essentially take the remainder. In fact, if you just want to write the remainder down, I cubed, then you can do that. Okay. That'll even save you even more, right? So if I were to practice like another one, just real fast, let's try to expedite the process here. Let's say that we have, I don't know, what goes into that? Let me make it not so there. So we would say, okay, 33 divided by 4 goes in 8 times. If you really want to expedite it, you can ignore everything except for the remainder. The answer here has to be I to the first, or AKA I. Look how fast that is. Again, why? Well, because I to the fourth, 8 times, there's your 32 I's, plus 1 left over I, there's your 33. Well, we said this is just 1 to the 8th power. Well, that means it's just 1. That means it's going to do nothing. Okay. So how quick is it to just write down the remainder? Very nice. And sometimes you got to clean up the remainder, right? Like on our I cubes, but really quick process for making these fast. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you out with 21, 22, and 23. Thanks for joining me. Take care.